Representative Romaine Quinn is my very special guest today. You are actually, you and Chris are only 5-timers that have ever been on the show. This is your 5th time.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, you were one that came on at the very beginning when we had, it was just a nightmare.
That's
the
right.
only one that actually agreed to do it.
I went and bought my Walmart headset.
Yeah, we were doing those remotely.
Yep.
Yeah, we had so many issues with that stuff. And you're the only politician that agreed after I explained, we're just going to have a junky webcam and some whatever. And
why not?
And you're like, okay,
Let's
what's the
do it.
agenda? We don't really have one. We just kind of wing it.
Oh, yeah, when you first started the show, that's right. There was no purpose. Just come on.
There's no purpose.
Shouldn't say no purpose.
There still kind of isn't a purpose, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. So Chris was just on, actually, a couple of months ago. And being 5-timers, he's ahead of you a little bit. So I'm assuming
we're
that's
equal
why
now, right?
No,
Or...
he's got more. I think he's well, of course there was that Jamie Kloss case, whatever. So
sure.
I don't know if those really
don't
count.
Those, no.
Okay. Well, I think you're about 1 or 2 behind. So you're gonna have to have to come on a lot more to catch up to him.
I know, but I think this is one area where I'm probably going to have to let him win. I don't like to say that because
Why?
I don't think you'll have me on my show much more after this.
Why? I won't have you on the show?
No. Well, I might be on the show,
did
but
you get in trouble?
I won't be as your representative because I'm not going to seek reelection.
What's that?
I'm not going to be seeking reelection this November.
You're speaking of my good headphones.
Let me get a little closer. I'm not going to be running for office in November.
And okay, when did you decide to do this?
Yeah, so there's a opportunity that came up, quite a while ago, and obviously, as I look long term too, I very much enjoy politics. I've done it forever. I feel like my entire adult life.
Yeah.
But I was approached locally to work for someone, and I said no because I enjoy politics. I like being in the fight and in the run of it. And the more we sat and talked with my wife as well as we're trying to start a family.
So she's a culprit in this.
She's not. She said, do what makes you happy, which involves her being happy too. So, no.
Right. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. So, but we thought about it. And like I said no right away. And we chatted and this and that. And just the thought of being home. And like I said, as we're trying to start a family and knowing that could happen anytime. And I want to know that I'll be home when I'm needed the most, and I can't guarantee that when I'm in Madison. So it's probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Because like I said, I love what I do.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's at some point, and as always, family comes first. So that's nothing new. And this time it really does come first. So I'm not going to be running.
Well, you brought up, first of all, I don't know if I should say congratulations or not. I'm assuming so, right? That congratulations, you're leaving politics.
Yeah, it was hard because you should be exciting when excited, when you get a different job.
Well, I'm certainly happy for you. But that is kind of a surprise. I think a lot of people are probably thinking, what?
Right.
Because Republicans and Democrats, they've all kind of see you as the up-and-comer, as it were. You're still young. You've been doing it. You were a mayor in Rice Lake for a while. Yep. I think you even had considered... I think you were considering running for the 7th Congressional District. That was a long before Tiffany, I think, announced, or somewhere along there.
Yeah, yep.
So, it's just that if you're looking at some of those things, that's a big transition to just leave politics. It's not like I'm going to stop here and I'm going to try to do more city council stuff or work locally.
Yep.
And then maybe in 2 years run for I'm just getting out.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you say it like that, and, some people are like, well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to be? And it's like, well, I'm not dying. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be in the community. I'm still going to be involved. And my, desire to see our area succeed doesn't go away. I'll be in a different capacity. But yeah, it is a big change. And there's been a lot of people that have supported me and been with me since my city council run when I was 18. Like I said, running for mayor when I was 19. When Roger Rivard lost the seat, and we sat down with some folks, and when I first ran in 2014, who's this 24-year-old kid just getting out of college, but we're going to do it, and we're going to win, and there's a lot of people involved. So I think almost one of the hardest parts, too, was disappointing people, right? I'm going to miss the job. I'm going to miss my colleagues. I'm going to miss being in the thick of it, but part of it was hard because I feel like I am letting people down in a way that have really been invested in me in the long term. But I don't think I'll ever be out of politics completely, whether that's doing other things, the local party and stuff, while I'm not in politics.
Sure.
And I'm certainly won't rule out running for something again in the future.
So there's maybe.
I think so, but
it's just not on the plan. It's not like, okay, we're going to do this for right now. We're going to have, maybe have a couple kids. Then this is I haven't really gotten that far.
Right.
This is just what we need right now.
And it's been interesting because everyone's like, well, what's your plan? Like, even when I was in office, right? What's your ladder? What are you climbing? What's the next step? And there's never been one because everything I've done has just fallen into place. So, I was 18. I'm like, gosh, maybe I should run for city council. Maybe I can do it. And I'm like, well, I'll just ask, what does it take to pull out papers, whatever. Like, they're due by 4:00 today. And it was noon. So I'm like, but I just think, like, if I didn't think that day to call, I never would have ran because I never would have been on the ballot. So my uncle and I went all around town, bar to bar, getting signatures. These are the only people not working. And I had to get 50 signatures to be on the ballot, but I couldn't legally go into these places by myself because I was 18.
Oh, right.
So we got on the ballot.
You vote for that guy out my truck.
Right. And I was lucky. And I was lucky enough to be elected, and that was awesome. And then I never would have ran for mayor if I wasn't on city council. And if I wasn't mayor, I probably never would have ran for the state assembly, or people wouldn't have took me seriously. Yeah. Right. So everything's kind of fallen into place. So I've never been climbing a ladder. So I'm like, if there's an opportunity in the future and the time's right and I'm needed, because that's part of it too. I think I'm leaving in the state in good hands, not in the administration, but in the legislature. So I have a lot of wonderful, wonderful colleagues that their hearts are in the right place. They are competent. They're doing an excellent job. And we've got a big majority. So it's not like it's 51-49. We might lose this seat. We could lose the majority. No, it's 63. And I know we're all shooting for a veto-proof majority this election cycle. We'll see if that happens. So it's not like I'm leaving at a time where I'm leaving the state vulnerable either. So, and whether it was now or 2 years from now, maybe that time we'd already have a kid, and then I'm really trying to get out. And but we're at a good place right now, I think, at least in the legislature.
Well, it's interesting because you're talking about obviously Republicans.
Yeah, I should clarify my comments right now.
But and you've helped me a lot ever since I started riding wire. You were, I think, one of the first representatives or senators, anyone in politics, that I reached out to. I think it was for a story or something, and I got to know you a little bit. But after polling, after looking at numbers, you've always helped kind of break down what they actually mean, not just looking at the raw stuff.
Right.
And I do recall looking at a lot of your votes. You actually got a lot of Democratic votes.
Yeah.
So that's unique for at least our area. I don't look at the polling things from Monroe County or something, but in our area, you really have a lot of supporters on the other side of that proverbial aisle in terms of Democrats.
Yep.
So that is going to be an interesting transition there. Especially, I don't know if anyone has announced yet that we're going to be running against you.
No, not yet this time.
I haven't heard.
Right.
So I'm sure they're going to be, let's get somebody, obviously.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be excited, but I'll say to them now, you won't take the seat back. I'll do my darndest to make sure that there's another common sense conservative that's willing to represent our area and be a voice in Madison. So Northern Wisconsin's not forgotten. But yeah, I've kind of been.
That's called product placement, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Little promo here.
Yes.
There we go.
And,
Biden Spooner.
Yep. I don't know if you're supposed to say that out loud. BLNCD. It's CBD sparkling water.
Get some today in Spooner, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Spooner. Yeah, I think you get them in. I think you get them at Economart in Minneapolis Airport if you're over there. Ignite Dispensary, Chocolate Studio, Spooner, etc. I'm actually going to try one in a little bit. CBD, that's like legal, right?
Yes.
Like, okay,
we passed that.
Okay, I thought so.
Yep.
I don't know anything about it.
Yep.
It's supposed to be good for you.
Yeah.
So I will try it. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, no, I've kind of prided myself on that, right? That we've been able to get so many votes on both sides. And I think it's because I try to focus on the issues. I try not to make it personal. I try to be upfront with people, so there's no question where I'm going to be on a vote or what's going on. I try to communicate as much as I can because at the end of the day, I think it's reflective of the fact that we probably don't disagree as much as we actually agree, but you just don't know it unless someone tells you that. And that's part of my job is going through and, do you actually think that on this issue? Probably not. So you probably more likely agree on this, right? And they're like, yeah, we do. And I think that's reflective in the elections then because, every time we've ran, we've won by a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. and this time I was going to shoot for 2/3, because just knowing that even like 2/3 is an anomaly, right? Most people do not win by that.
Right. Like 60% is considered a landslide.
Right. But the fact of knowing that there's still a third of the district out there that doesn't vote for me was like something to keep going at, right? So like, what can I do different? How can I be better? Or I'm not going to compromise my principles, but how can I get them there to say, hey, we probably agree more than we disagree. So wouldn't you at least rather have someone that can get something accomplished, even if we don't agree on every issue?
Yeah.
And so that was always my goal, right? And knowing that we got tens of thousands of votes, but there's still thousands out there that don't. So I'm like, I'm going to find you, and we're going to talk, and we're going to figure this out, and why, right? And there's some people that I could cure cancer, and I'm still the worst person in the world, and I'm sure they're going to be on this page commenting under this video. We know who they are, but which is totally fine. That's part of the job. But that's part what I'm going to miss too is the people, is that interaction with people from all walks of life, speaking about every kind of issue, just meeting them. Just last week, not even the district, but I went and had lunch at the Senior Citizen Center in Minong and got to meet some really cool people that have lived in Minong their whole life that I never would have met if I wasn't in office, right?
Yeah.
When would I have stopped if I wasn't invited up as the rep? So that part I'm going to miss, those opportunities to learn more about issues, meet people, and see things that I never would have saw. So, and that's, I think, what I'm most thankful for is that people willing to put their trust in me, and then the opportunities, the things I've been able to see and do, I never would have been able to experience if it wasn't for that. So that's why I'm super grateful for the time that I've had. It'll be 6 years now at the end of this term. So
wow. All right. So just to be clear, this is not resigning. You're just not running.
No special election. No filling the seat till November, like this crap that's going on for Congress, right? I mean, so whoever wins May 12th,
then it's to do it all over.
Then they're basically still running because it's in November, right? So it's like,
I know.
Woohoo, you're out of the gate and you're still running, so don't take your signs down. So there won't be any of that.
It's funny you had brought up that going to the senior center. My brother, Matt, who's running for mayor in Shell Lake, and he has been going to a couple of the senior centers in the area and just talking to them. And he called me, and first of all, I told him, put it on your Facebook page, your for mayor page, or run a story, and pay me, and I'll pay to advertise and I'll put it on Dryden Wire.
Yes.
He said, no, but I don't want to. That's not why I was doing it. He goes, but no matter what happens in the election, he goes, I'm just so grateful for having that opportunity, because just by running,
opens up opportunities.
You betcha. And he was like, I never would just randomly go to Glenview and just kind of
hang out,
right. And he goes, but now it's like, man, I never saw that part before.
Yep.
So I think those are the kind of things that you may miss a couple of months later. The 3 months later is just being kind of involved in there. So is your new job? Can you say what your new job is, or that's kind of mum?
Yeah, well, I'll be going to work for a local bank. So I'll still be involved on the business side of things. And, part of banking is making sure that people have the resources they need to be successful and helping them through that process. So that's what I'll be doing.
Was there, did you ever think about maybe doing both? There's a lot of people that have, full-time job or own their own business, and they're in the assembly or in the Senate. Was there a consideration to, I will take this other job, but I'll still keep, the whole legislator gig?
Yeah. So as you know, about a year and a half ago, I got my real estate license. So I've been doing that on the side, and that's been a ton of fun. Besides being in the legislature, what's more fun and exciting than helping someone buy their first home, like their first biggest decision ever, and being there with them? It's a blast.
Right.
And unfortunately, I've been able to do both of that. I've had some criticism because of that, right? I'm not doing enough at the state job. So obviously I have time to do this. And
Who criticizes you for that?
Well, I mean, just people in general, right? So it is what it is. But there's a lot of, in the legislature, people own their own businesses, or they're doctors or veterinarians or what have you. And they do things, or they kind of put their careers on pause to come down, things like that.
I'm going to try one. I'm thirsty.
What is the pink flavor?
The pink is chill, whatever that. It's terpene infused, because you got to have your terpenes.
Okay.
Holy cow, that's good.
Were you paid to say
No,
that?
I really wasn't. He doesn't even know I'm doing this, actually. He dropped those off
he'll enjoy
just to
this.
take them home, and I was like, hey, I'll just throw those things out. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, that's fine. Well, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah. There's no alcohol in there.
How much are these a can?
I don't know.
Not drinking on TV. It's CBD oil, right?
Yeah. Or CBD something.
Grapefruit.
Yeah.
I bet you could mix that with something though.
That'll be for a different show.
Right. But anyway, yeah. So we did have that conversation, right? Could I run another term while I'm still learning the ropes and things like that? But it'd just be too hard, and there'd be conflicts of interest. And
what kind of conflicts of interest?
Just on the banking side of things. I mean, people want to know that it's not political.
Oh, sure.
That it's a different field that doesn't allow you to do both.
Yeah,
and
the
I
optics
get that.
aren't good.
Yep, and frankly, even with the real estate side, people are like, "How are things going?" I'm like, "It's busy enough, and as busy as I want it to be because my other stuff comes first, right?" And I never canceled a meeting because someone wanted to look at a house, or I never didn't go to Madison, so because there was enough flexibility in the job. So some of that downtime drove me nuts because I need to be busy all the time doing stuff, right? And I would think I'm actually a lot busier in Madison than some of my colleagues.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm on 7 committees, I'm on our leadership team, and which is fine because some people have their business at home that they put on pause, or maybe they do have kids and they don't want to be in Madison as much. And I had the time. I don't have kids yet, and I didn't have a business that I was running, so I put more time in Madison. So it'd be hard for me now to back out of the amount of time I've been investing in it anyways to even do both, because I think I've built my office around being in Madison, being busy, being on 7 committees, being on our leadership team, trying to help others be successful.
Yeah, and I can't see you in order to, whether it's banking or any other job, leaving those committees, and because I'm assuming that you'd be able to have a lot more free time if you weren't as involved in Madison as much as you are.
Right.
But that's what makes you such a good representative for the Republican Party, or for your constituents, if they're the ones that vote for you anyway.
Right.
But you're very engaged and you're very involved with all the things that are happening in Madison, and it can't really be a part-time gig for you. I think you kind of have to be all in, or I just can't do it then.
And for others, like I said, everyone runs their office different, but it'd be hard. I've never been to a point where when they invite you to the Senior Citizen Center and I've said no because I have to be at a different job. I've never run into that. Yeah. And I think I would at that point. And so having to make those decisions of, sorry, I can't come to something that I otherwise would have went to, I think would be really tough. Yeah. And so that's why I can't do both. Yeah. And so it's unfortunate, right? Because, I really enjoy it. But, we did our taxes this year, and I think I was in Madison like 125, 126 days last year. And it's not a lot. Some people work on the road, but it is kind of a lot. And like I said, as we're trying to start a family as well, and just knowing that I can be home when I need to be home. Like I've never missed a floor session, whether I'm sick or not, whatever, because you pay me to be on the floor to vote. But if I have issues at home, like I don't want to be in Madison when I'm needed at home, right? But I can't miss it either, right? And people deal with that every day at work. How do you take off for a sick day or this and that? Yeah. And but we thought I'll get ahead of it now, so it's not a struggle later. Yeah,
because you're 126 days. This isn't spread out. I mean, it is, but it obviously over the year. Yeah. But you kind of have these pockets or these months where a lot of those days fall in a few month period.
Yeah, and it gets busy, and it's drinking out of a fire hose, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can always tell when it's in session. Yep. Because we get because we obviously publish press releases from Republicans and Democrats in our area. That's what we've always done. We'll always do that. But you can tell when it starts not being in session because we don't get as many of them anymore. It's like, oh, good. So I'm tired of posting all these things.
Right. Because you read them all, right?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I'm sure your readers read them all, too.
No. Yeah. Like booking reports. I can't tell you how many months it's been since I even looked at one. I really couldn't care less who was arrested at all.
And I think
But people do, so I post it.
And I think as legislators are in office more, too, they'll start to send less, because I know I've even sent less, because unless it really means something, like I'm not going to send something that says, oh, I got this award that nobody understands, or like praising some committee assignment. Like, who cares? Like, I know I don't care. I know you don't care, so I'm not sending you a press release. Are you
gonna now that you're soon to not be in office? Mm-hmm. Is this going to allow you a little more freedom to maybe say some say some things, like what kind of maybe a little hint right there?
If you ask my staff, they say I already do that too much. So, but yes, definitely some more freedom.
Look out, Facebook,
to respond. Yeah, if you think I was bad before, just wait.
Oh, I can't wait.
No, but yeah. But it'll be nice not being in the limelight too. Like I said, I enjoy it, but there are times where it's like, I don't know how to write this because someone's going to judge me, or people are going to take this out of context, or I can't say this because I am the representative. Well, no, I'm going to be able to after January. Well, I guess I could now, right? Since I'm not up for reelection.
That's true. I don't need your vote now.
Right.
But you do, you're trying to help the next guy.
Yeah. And I'll have to figure out, still how to get my political fix, right? Because I know what goes on now. I'm going to see those press releases and be like, what is going on behind that? Because that's not right. Things like that.
Yeah.
And
you can come on and we do commentary.
Yeah.
On some political commentary.
Yeah.
I can't offer you any money.
That's
just
okay.
a lot of grief from a lot of people.
As long as there's some CBD Bliss grapefruit on here, I'll come back.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So it's definitely going to be a change. It's going to be different. And I don't know if I've fully realized it yet. And, I'm going to miss it, but I'm not going to regret my decision. I think finally when I could mentally separate those things, so I'm thinking like, I'm not going to be in Madison. I'm not going to be in the back row with my cool back row seatmates who are going to watch this and be like, yeah, I gave you a shout out. Sam, Jagler, and Cody. And like I said, I'm really going to miss my colleagues because we really are a family down there. And I joke because there's like family, you can't pick them. So there's some of them I wouldn't have picked. But some of them I would have picked. So literally we are a family. We're stuck together, and those relationships mean a lot to me. And I think they're going to continue beyond the legislature too, because I think a lot of us are really sincere and wanting to see us all be successful.
So you must have had this thought a while ago, like somebody had, I think you'd mentioned, called and offered you a job and you said no, but that was in your head then. When you did decide to take it, what was that level of peace? What was that moment where it was, I'm making a decision, and then after that, did you wake up the next day and go, what'd I do? Oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or did you have that moment of just, kind of serenity, just, okay, this is the right move?
Yeah, so there's a few close people that I talked with ahead of time, and, Saturday night I let all my supporters know at an event we were having. We had a fundraiser event, so to ask them to show up, donate to me, and let them know, hey, just keep the check because I'm not running.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
All right.
So that
so I take the money first and then tell them at the end of the fundraiser. That's what you should have done.
I won't do that. Yeah, right. And so people know too, like, so money that's in my campaign account, that's not personal money. That doesn't go to me. So all those funds will go to the next candidate. If I like them. I'm just kidding. The speaker will be like, yes, it's going to the next candidate. So yeah, I don't know what it was. We had a lot of conversations with people that were close to me, and they said the same thing. Like, you just have to find peace with whatever decision you make. And like I said, initially it was like, there's no way I'm getting out. I couldn't envision a life outside of politics. And then weeks went by, and just the thought of being home, different things like that. And then all of a sudden I got to that point where it was like the thought of not taking the opportunity and staying in it was, now I'm like second guessing that too. So at that point I was like, so now I got to think, am I going to regret my decision, or am I just going to miss being in it? Yeah. And I think I finally got to the point where, I love my job. I am going to miss it. And I'm, and I'll never rule out maybe not going back someday, but I'm not going to regret not being home when I think I need to be home. Sure. So I think that's when we finally got to the point where it's, yep. And I think a lot of people were waiting like, okay, maybe he'll miss it too much and he won't do this. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people were like, oh, he's serious. It's not just a question anymore.
Going back to what you were saying on you can't, pretty much please everyone, and you kind of be careful on your word. Are people going to be offended by this word or how I say this? That has to be one part that that you're just not going to miss in terms of, there's a lot of people, for some reason, when you're a politician, you're no longer a human being. Right. It's we're just going to go after you for anything. There's one guy, I call him one of your fans. He's just fantastic. I can't remember names on our Facebook page, like Bill or something. Yep. And I mean, I could put up an article that says, like the forecast for the weekend weather. First comment, what's Quinn going to do about climate control or something, right? I know. And it's just this constant, that attack or that feeling that way. And a lot of times you just laugh it off.
Right.
But some of them I'm sure can be, it has to wear on you at some point, whether it's not a specific, like a, something horrible, like a death threat or anything like that. That's different.
Yep.
But just over a period of time, it's, man, really?
It does. And that's why, as I go out and right off in the sunset, I want to encourage people to remember that people in office are still people. You know, we still have other jobs, we still have families, we still have friends. So when you make it personal, like there are other people that see that too, like family and friends, and they're treated different too sometimes just because you're in office. And just remember to try and be kind. Like just because we disagree on an issue doesn't mean you should be able to question my character.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I'm pro-life. Well, I don't treat my Democratic colleagues different or not respect them, even though I think they're advocating for the death of human beings. You know, for me, that's a huge moral issue, but I still respect you as a person, right?
Yeah.
Even though I think you're advocating for the death of babies, right? So that's like a pretty big issue for me, but I don't question your character per se. You know, I don't not respect you. So I would just encourage people going forward, whoever the next representative is, you know, do give them a hard time, do question them, do give them suggestions on how to be better, because a lot of those people did make me be better, right? Or I had to sharpen my skills. Why did I vote that way? Well, I thought I knew why, but you know, I had to really dig down. How can I explain this to someone else who just doesn't come from my background or doesn't see things my way? So that question is good, but just be respectful of one another, because it does wear on you over time.
It has to.
It does.
It really does. I just had a great one this last week. I was even called a Nazi, which I didn't even know that Nazi was still around. Like the Nazism, I thought that died in the 40s or something.
Yep.
So and it was on some other post, and it's what?
Right.
How did you even get that from what?
Yep. And I know that's why I'll put a plug in for my staff, because you know they do filter a lot of that for me ahead of time.
Oh, I need
now,
one
granted,
of those.
like I need one of those, a staff. But I mean, like I read every email, I read every Facebook post, I read, you know, because I should read that too, right? Yeah. When you call, you shouldn't just get my staff. Although they do a good job at responding if I'm falling behind.
One of the best staffs I communicate with. They're always Johnny on the spot, man.
Yep, absolutely. But there are times where it's like, I know it wears on them too. Like, so-and-so called. Do you want to hear the voicemail? I don't need to hear it. Tell me what the issue was, and then we'll figure out an answer. We'll call them back and try to help them. But I don't need to hear the 2-minute long go whatever yourself. You know, leading up to that. But we'll still help them. We'll still figure it out. And that's the thing. I think technology has gotten us to a point where it's so easy for us to be mean. Like, would you have said that to my face in a bar? Probably not.
Maybe.
Well, you would. Yeah, well, or in the grocery store.
Yeah, right. You just want to go up to
you know, or at the gym or whatever. Like, you wouldn't have said that to me in my face. Right. So just because you're behind your keyboard, I mean, let's still be nice to each other. And I'm guilty of that too, because I know there's been times where, you know, I've probably been a little short with constituents on my page. And, you know, I will apologize for that, because I should always do better or be better. You know, I think that's the one thing, you know, I would handle myself a little differently than maybe the president. You know, I don't make fun of people. And sometimes I'm a little short. But sometimes, you know, after you've emailed me 268 times saying how bad of a person I am, at some point you got to lose it. But that's why you have staff, and they go back and they're like, Romaine, you should word it this way or whatever. But that's what I just want to leave it. You know, just be kind, because politicians are people. Yeah. And, you know, we deserve to be treated with respect, even if we disagree. And every 2 years, you get to throw the bums out. And so you get to throw me out this time. So I know there's a handful of people cheering. Yeah. But, so we'll see. But
so what are the things that you believe you're going to miss the most? You've already touched on a couple of those things. But if you had to put your top 3 things that you believe you're going to miss, was it your staff you had brought up? But, you know, who cares about your staff?
Well, I care about my staff.
I'm kidding.
And they're going to be successful.
What's going to happen to them?
So remember, I'm still in office till January.
Right.
So whoever wants to run now would file papers by June 1st.
Oh, sure.
So they have till June 1st. You know, so it's up to them. They could find other offices in the building who have openings. You know, they're in the assembly. Senate staff kind of get paid more. Maybe they could get into a Senate office. Sure. Maybe they want to hang around for the new person, if they'll take them. But it's every person's right to hire who they want. Yeah. You know, I would encourage a new person to be like, hey, these two know the district.
Well, that's true.
They know all these people. They know all the contacts. You can just walk right in, and your staff know your district. Because it's hard when you live out state, and people don't get that either. Like, I have staff from my district. Well, I don't have staff from my district. Or people are like, hey, can I come work for you? You want to live in Madison? I have to live in Madison? Yeah, you have to like be in the building. So it's hard for like outstate people to bring someone from home that gets it, right? Gets it to work in Madison. So it's really an educational piece for staff to come up to the district and learn it because they're not just an hour from the Capitol. So sometimes they ride in together with their boss, or things like that. So that's different. But they're super competent. They're good at what they do, and they'll be successful.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said that it's one of the best staffs that I communicate with via Dryden wire. Because there are some that
don't.
I won't name them here, but it is just it's really bad.
Yeah, so they'll do a good job no matter where they wind up, and they've got the skills to go and do whatever they want to do, and they've got till January to figure that out.
So on that through January, are there current bills that you have that are being worked on, and do you think you're going to be able to get some of those things wrapped up?
Well, that's what's kind of hard about announcing ahead of time, right? Because then, why would they take you seriously? Because Quinn's going to be gone. So why would we do the stuff he wants to do? But at the same time, I have to leave enough time for somebody else to prepare a campaign, to make that decision, to talk with their family. Because, like I said, June 1st is the deadline. So people should have a couple months to probably decide that. So if I were to decide, because actually I would have to file my paperwork by June 1st too. So it'd be a lie for me to refile my paperwork and then all of a sudden in July or August say, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's not fair to the public. That's not fair to other people that would run too. So that's why, and technically some people say, you should have announced even earlier if you were thinking about it, to give people even more time to figure it out. But
you hadn't figured it out yet.
No, I
can't announce I haven't figured it out yet.
Didn't figure it out until like a week ago. So it's so it's tough. But for me to think that I'm the only competent person that can do this job would be ignorant and selfish, right? There are a lot of really high quality, caring, compassionate people in this district that would do a phenomenal job representing us in Madison. And I will find them because, for me, like I want to know that, someone cares about people as much as I do, or is compassionate about the issues as much as I am, or cares about the Second Amendment and is pro-life and won't let Madison forget about Northern Wisconsin and understands road funding. And a lot of that takes time too, right? I mean, who understands the education funding formula? Nobody, right? And that takes time and years of understanding. And so my goal is, it's not my job to handpick my successor and anyone gets to run. It's the people's seat and the people decide who it is. But I don't know who will run yet, but whoever it is, I'm going to do my best to make sure that they are competent, that they love the 75th Assembly District, and they're going to do a good job for us. And I'm going to work my butt off to make sure they get reelected because we can't go back to the days of being ignored by Madison. And so that's why it's important whoever fills the seat, is a loud voice and does a good job.
Well, I wish the best of luck to you on this new part of your life, new chapter, new journey.
Yeah, and so hopefully I have till January to go on Diane's Kitchen yet, because once I'm not a representative, she might not want
she doesn't want to do like politics stuff.
I won't be interesting because she says she interviews interesting people. Well, I'm not interesting anymore, so I'm just going to be Joe Schmo out in the public.
Here, I'll just change their background. We'll just put us into the...
that's too good.
Okay, now we're on Diane's Kitchen. No, it's not a cooking show.
Yes. Yep. Just a chat.
Yep. With interesting people.
Yeah.
Filling in for Diane.
You're not as sweet as your mom, so don't kid anybody. But so maybe I'll get to go on
I think we're
Diane's
in a
Kitchen
tunnel
one more time.
Oh, sorry.
Don't click the wrong picture. So it's been fun. It's been a great ride. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I don't know if I'll stay out of it forever. But and
like you said, you still have some time to go. It's not like you're resigning. You still got a job to do.
Yeah, and I still plan on doing that, right? So I know people are like, come and talk to this. I'm like, we got to call back now. Are you going to want me? Will you still want me to speak to Rotary? Because I'm kind of out. Things like that.
Kind of leave it up to them kind of a thing? Unless it's for some reason like, I definitely want to go to this.
I will.
As long as they still want me to.
I plan on going to everything yet, unless they're like, no.
What's the point?
You're out. See ya.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So... But yes, I'm still in the job till January. So, and there's a lot of things too. Like a lot of our stuff we do, it's not always passing bills, right? It's a lot of constituent work. My unemployment's not working. I lost my Medicaid coverage. This department's not getting back to me. I can't get my license so I can keep working. Why isn't DISPIS, getting a hold of me? So a lot of that stuff we do isn't dealing with passing a bill. So we're going to be doing constituent work right up through January. Okay. So that doesn't end.
Well, towards the end of the year, I'll let Mom know. We'll have you on Diane's Kitchen, but then also come back this fall, or right around that time that you're gonna be leaving, or
Yeah.
anytime, it's anyone that asks to come on, these politicians that we have, some people don't realize that, we usually don't reach out to people. They're the ones that reach out to us, and we've never said no. So
Right.
if we have more Republicans or more Democrats on, it's whatever.
Right.
It's just kind of how it goes. It is what it is.
Yep.
But if you ever want to come back on before the end of the year, we'd love to have you, man.
Awesome.
Well,
We'll
thank
have to
you
do
so
that.
much, and congratulations once again.
It's been a pleasure.